Hello everyone, I'm PD Den, and this week's episode is a little different. We are 1 week away from the wedding, and I just wanted to check in with James and Hazel to see how they are doing. Yeah, so guys, please.
Hey, my name is James.
Hi guys, I'm Hazel.
And welcome back to
The Couples
Classroom.
Counting down the days till we say I do.
So, how we're feeling right now? I think my motto for this week is to feel only one thing, and that is chill. So many people have asked me, are you going to be a bridezilla? Are you going to be very anxious and nervous about things? I agree. I have felt nerves about the wedding, right? But for this week, my goal is to just soak in all the happiness and all the love from people out there and just be a chill bride.
So that's your one word. If
Yep.
you were to describe your whole wedding journey in one word.
Yeah, my
how you're
feeling
feeling
this
now.
week, yeah.
For me, I would say it's a marathon. It's a long, exhausting, but purposeful journey. You know, this few weeks has been very bittersweet. A lot of ups and downs. Something that I did not expect at all. But overall, I mean, now that we are 1 week left to the wedding, I would even say it's a miracle. You know, like things that I would never imagine myself sitting here talking about my biggest day with the woman I love the most, you know, and I'm gonna tie the knot next week. Next week, I'm gonna be a husband.
Is this how y'all expected like the whole journey to be like?
It's a no for me.
Yeah, right? Like, I think nothing could prepare me for the amount of work, effort, research that a couple has to put in before the big day.
Yeah.
Like, prior to getting married, I've always thought, what's the big deal? It's just one day. I
Yep.
mean, just get things together, set up one Excel sheet, that's it. As of now, I have 18 Excel sheets.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
And we prepared for 17 group chats, texting you at the same time, asking you this and that. For me, it's a very bittersweet thing. I'm having mixed feeling to be very honest. And as a wedding pianist, I've spoken to a lot of couples before the wedding, sometimes 1 week, 1 month before the wedding. And now me being on this side, oh my gosh, I get it. I get it why they say their weekends are all filled up, they are stressed. I 100% get that.
Yeah, I'm trying my best to sort of split up the work, right? As much as possible. Don't have everything done in one particular period or one particular day so that it's not so tough on myself.
Yep.
I think the whole journey is nice, but what is very hard for me to remember is to have fun. Like, I have to admit, as much as I try to tell myself to just let loose a bit, just relax a bit and have fun, sometimes it gets a little tough. And when that is so, right, arguments unfortunately occur.
Yep.
You know, conflicts happen. I remember one time, so much work was piling up and I got so super stressed up. Like, the wedding planner was asking for things, the reality show we were shooting was asking for things, and we had so many things that needed to be done. And I'm like, I have no time for myself. This is very exhausting. You know, should wedding planning be like that? But fortunately or unfortunately, we have a lot of help from people who love us, but we still felt the stress.
Yes. I think what I'm feeling right now, and I believe what a lot of couples feel when they are going through their wedding planning, is decision fatigue. Which means that even though we have a lot of people helping us with a lot of things, and we are so grateful for that,
Yep.
but the bigger, more important decision still lies with us.
Yep.
Like, they cannot move on if we don't give them the green light.
Yeah, then we become the bottleneck.
Yes. So
Yeah.
because of that, we feel like, oh my gosh, there are a lot of people waiting for our answers. And sometimes the answers that we are going to give isn't like a black or white. It's like, okay, we got to discuss as well. And then because sometimes we don't have time to discuss, so everything just like she said, bottlenecks, you know?
Yeah. And decision fatigue is very apt because I don't want to make these decisions, man. I'm okay if it's a round platform or a square platform or a diamond platform, but they still have to check in with us what kind of platform you want. I'm okay with it if it's 2 steps or 3 steps. I don't even care, but
Really?
we have to make the decision.
No, let's jump on that because, okay, I feel like I'm the more 随便 one when it comes to wedding.
You think?
I think.
Okay.
I feel like maybe, like, I'm afraid like if I decide something and then like if you don't like it, then you want it to be perfect.
Hey, I also scared that if I decide something and you don't like it, and
Really?
then it will turn out bad. Yeah.
Okay.
I also want to
I feel
respect your
like,
decision.
Yeah, I think that's the thing, because it's such an important day, and people always say, your wedding day is one of the, and we both agree that it's a very important day. So we want it to be as perfect as possible. But at the same time, it cannot be perfect.
I think there's perfection in imperfection.
Yeah.
So throughout the whole wedding process and journey, right, we have many group chats to respond to. And sometimes I felt like I was the only one moving things forward. And I don't want to, pick up an argument or like cause conflict over this. So I'm happy to reply to this text. But at the same time, sometimes right, at the end of the day when we're driving home, and then James will ask me, hey, about the flowers, this and that, how are? And I will feel like so stressed because this question that he asked had already been answered in the group chat. So sometimes I feel like, okay, it's okay if you don't respond or you don't reply to these people, these vendors. If you're busy, I understand that. But can you at least read it? So that, you don't have to ask me the same questions that were already answered, because that causes more stress to me. Like initially I feel like, okay, one thing is done, this is settled. And then it gets brought up again in our conversation, and then I have to remember this whole thing again, and I have to explain this whole thing again. That's like extra mental load for me. And we had this conversation like many, many times. I'm sure a lot of couples out there feel it as well. What do you think? Do you think I was being too much when I asked you to just read it?
No, I have no response to that. I take the L, I'll just say. Because I do agree that wedding is a two-person thing, and I shouldn't be the one assuming that you will take charge, because you did take charge. And to me, I feel like because you took charge, it's easier for me to just ask you any question that I have queries on.
Groups, don't do that. Read the group chat, okay?
Because we have so many group chats, and all the group chats, they are like, some are unread, some they are like updates here and there. So in my head, I'm just thinking, okay, it's quicker if I ask you, okay, hey, have you decided on what color the flowers are going to be, for example, right? But of course, I mean, to you, it's like you want me to read the group chat, and fine, of course, I respect whatever your point is, and I have no counter arguments to that. I'll just work on that.
At one point, he got so scared that he asked me, baby, can you gently remind me what we decided for this thing? I know, okay. I must have scared him so much.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Hey, what? Yeah. No, but you know that brides, okay, one or the other has to put in a lot of effort and time to do certain things, right? And in this case, I like to decide on like the little details. I mean, don't get me wrong, decision making is still tiring for me, but I like to make sure that everything is perfect for my loved ones, my guests who are coming. So for example, we created this soft copy RSVP form with Joy. This is a platform that a lot of people use. I thought that would be a 30 minutes thing, Let me just put in the date and the time, dress code, slap on the address, done, I can send. You know how long I took for that thing? 4 days. I took 4 days to create a soft copy RSVP that I thought would only take 30 minutes.
And she did it till midnight.
Yes, I ended up choosing the photos. I want one from our Qingdao, one from Switzerland, one from Singapore. I want a photo from every photo shoot that we have in the RSVP. I want to tell people about story. So I typed out this whole story. There's a quick Q&A, then type, and then make the template nice, choose color, choose background, choose font. 4 days guys. I don't know why I ended up doing this to myself. But as I sent it out to our friends and family, I felt so happy that they could just not just respond to us, but also see a part of our story.
Okay, so when I see you doing all these kind of things, and you're so you lit up like a Christmas tree when you were doing your RSVP, to me, I'm just, okay, like she likes it so much and she's getting the work done. How can I interrupt you in doing that? So
easy, man.
So to me, I'm just, okay, I'll let you do it. And I know that I just want to focus on this point. I know that she's going to do an incredible job at all these kind of little arts and craft, tiny details kind of thing. So I have no doubt that you will do a good job.
Thank you.
Yeah, so I just leave it to you. And again, that make me look like I'm not doing anything, which again, yes, it's true. I'm not doing as much as you are for the wedding.
No, it's okay. You're reading the group chats. That's it. That's good now.
Yeah.
Give me
But
more
I
support.
think I'm doing a pretty good job now,
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
Like I started responding.
Oh, yes, maybe.
Previously, I would think that, okay, you know what? Maybe Hazel would just respond to this. But now I took the initiative to do it.
We'd like to gently remind everyone that a marriage is between two people. So it would be good like if one person takes the initiative, the other person can just support. I think that's nice as well.
But do you think you also cannot have two people making major decisions.
Yeah, that I agree.
Because then same thing will happen. Both you're gonna fight. So I feel like, okay, if you want to make the decision, like I'm okay. As long as it doesn't bother me too much. Like you don't tell me the whole wedding is gonna be purple color, I'm okay.
Actually, it is gonna be purple.
Let's have a chat after this.
I can understand both perspectives actually, because it's very stressful to make the decisions, and then every time you ask, it becomes a whole thing again. You feel like the person is not supporting you. But from James's perspective, it would be like, hey, Hazel is so reliable. I can just rely on her to do all those things, and then I can just like coast my way through a bit. Yeah, so it's tough. Like it's always going to be tough, but that's how a marriage will be like, I guess. If you guys were to do it all over again, would you want to do so many things? Like you guys have a lot planned for your wedding.
Yeah.
Y'all went back in time. Y'all have the knowledge that y'all have now. Would y'all want to do things differently? Make it a much simpler wedding? Or are y'all just gonna, like, do y'all think that y'all will enjoy this whole process even more and then do more things?
Yes, I will still do it because I do see the value in all of this fatigue and tiredness and all these negative emotions. But most importantly, the end result, and I don't want to bang all our emotions on this preparation, because our wedding is not going to determine our relationship, right? Our wedding day is not going to determine our relationship in life. So, I mean, to answer your question, I will still put my best foot forward and do a wedding that we will not forget.
I feel like I wouldn't want a simpler or easier wedding. I would still like it to be like this. You know, our wedding is full of games, there's like activities, there's different things for everybody. Everyone gets to take part. And this is something that I enjoy a lot. I personally enjoy weddings that are more interactive. I feel like if the bride and groom, does a little more things to be acquainted with the guests, I like it. So I wouldn't opt for a simpler one, but I feel like if we had gone back in time and I can start the whole planning process again, I would know what I can do better to make my life easier.
What would it be?
Because now, like, if I have the skills to design like the soft copy RSVP, for example, I wouldn't have spent 4 days. Or now that I know, okay, what would be more efficient for my wedding planning, doing an Excel sheet for all the TikTok content, then I would have done that from the start instead of saving down the link and sending it to you via WhatsApp each and every time.
Yeah. But honestly, after preparing for like a wedding like that, I feel like I understand why couples would do a very small one.
Oh.
Because I understand that some people wouldn't want to spend so much time, money to fluff up that one day. Like let's say, for example, we blow 100K on weddings. Like this 100K, could it be used for something else? It could fund our next 10 years of holiday. Would that make us happier than spending all this in one day? That's what I'm thinking.
No, but I feel like because we are someone who don't host parties often, so when we actually get together with our friends and family all at one go, I feel like I want to give my all to everyone, because it's not often that we do this.
Yeah, true.
I don't remember the last time I held a party of my own.
True.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think the best part is both of you are on the same page. Like both of you would still want to do something that's bigger and then more
memorable, I would say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not the wedding day yet, lah. It might turn out.
We may.
It might turn out bad. We'll get back to you on that.
I feel like we may feel a lot of things right now, but if we were to fast forward 10, 20, 30, 40 years down the road, all this thing that we're doing is going to be it's going to come back to us, and it's going to serve us really well in terms that we can speak to our grandchildren about it. We have documented our wedding journey, and we can continue to milk it for the next 30 years of our lives. Yeah.
Yeah, we're going to show our grandchildren the from yes to I do. That Akong and Ama had a wedding and we were on TV.
Yeah, that will be interesting.
Do you think this wedding planning and everything has brought you guys closer overall?
From my point of view, I think it has. I think it allowed me to understand my fiancé a lot more. How is he like when it comes to planning, detailing?
For me, it just assures one thing. I'm bad at planning.
No, don't say that, darling. Don't say that.
No, I'm not saying that like it's a bad thing. Like I admit that I'm good at some things and I'm bad at some things. And planning is just something that I am not good at and not interested at. And I'm glad I found you who's good at planning. So you finish up my puzzle that I'm missing.
Oh, you put it so well. Thank you.
Yeah.
But this comes as a surprise to me because when we were dating and when it comes to your work, you are always so organized. I remember seeing all these Excel sheet that you have, color coded, things like that. So I was very surprised to find out that you are not actually a fan of planning.
Planning for my work, yes. I mean, because that's my responsibility and I'm
Hey,
familiar.
so is this wedding?
No, I'm familiar with the workflow. But I feel like when it comes to when a lot of people are involved in something, or when it comes to like the decision isn't in
On
my
you
court,
solely, okay.
then I would rather you make the decision and then you bear the consequences. You bear the responsibility than I make the wrong decision and then I have to. Like I'm more okay to say, hey, it's okay, than having to like
Question everything.
apologize if let's say something goes wrong.
Oh, but when it comes to a wedding and like it's a 2 people affair, whatever goes wrong at the wedding, I feel like no fingers should be
Of
pointed.
course. No, of course. Yeah. That's why I'm saying that, like, if something goes wrong, I wouldn't point my finger at you. Yeah.
This is the 17th episode of the Couples Classroom.
17th episode. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. How do you all find the journey so far?
Recording this podcast made me feel things that I've never once felt in my 9 years of radio career.
Oh, what is that?
I remember in the first few episodes, we were still figuring out how to get this podcast going, right? And it's nothing like a podcast that I've hosted previously called Harsh Podcast, because that's more female, girl-centric. But this is a podcast that revolves around my personal relationship. I remember nearing episode 5, we sort of found a better way to go about doing it, or at least we thought so. We shared more examples that were closer to our hearts because we felt like this being a classroom, the couple's classroom, right, is meant for us to learn together, grow together on this journey. But I remember episode 5 to 7, maybe some of the stories we shared were so close to our hearts that a lot of people flamed us for it online. And I've never received this kind of negative criticism all at one go online. A lot of people were questioning us, telling us things like, okay, some things should be just kept to yourself. Someone told us to reconsider our marriage over different love languages. I'm like, huh? But isn't it just normal for 2 people in a relationship to have differences? This is why the whole couple's classroom is created, right? To talk about differences and how we can navigate around them. There were people who told us that they're just waiting for us to get a divorce or something like that. Why would people say that? That was the time that I really started questioning, should I still continue doing this podcast? Should I still bare my heart and my soul, share it with my viewers and listeners online? But of course, that is only one camp of the people. On the other hand, I've also received a lot of love and support from my friends, my family, people coming to tell us that, they've learned so much from our stories. And this is something that I really appreciate. But most importantly, through this journey, I think I forged a stronger connection with my producers and my fiancé. Why do I feel like crying now again? That period was so sad. Like, I lost sleep. Every time I wake up, the first thing I think about is, oh my gosh, like, are there still many people hating on me online? And every time I feel very sad about it. Like, at any time, every time I feel sad about it, right? This guy here will be so patient. He will always put down his work, no matter how urgent the work is, sit me down on this very sofa and talk to me about my emotions, which are the emotions that I've told him the day before and 2 days before that. They are the same emotions that I'm talking about over and over again. But he's so patient to sit down, listen to me, and so are my producers. We hopped on the call, and then we even met face to face. We talked about the different things that I was facing. But then again, I think the turning point for me was Star Awards, when I clinched the top 10 most popular female artists. That was my first top 10 awards. And online, there was still a lot of people giving me hate. And that was the point that I told myself, you know what? there really never will come a time where I can please 100% of people, no matter whether it is me sharing about my losses, my challenges in life, or my victories in life. There will be a lot of people saying a lot of different things. And it's up to me to navigate this emotion. So I feel like I actually emerged stronger from the whole filming of the couple's classroom. And now I can like safely say that, wow, I can be more comfortable in my own skin, sharing about my own stories, now that I don't really care about the comments or the hate anymore. Also because a lot of people have given me love. Yeah, thanks for listening to this rant of mine. Yeah.
I can understand where Hazel is coming from, because she is being extra vulnerable and she wants to share the most personal stories to people. So that means she shares her emotions and the negativity that comes along with those emotions. This is a half an hour podcast, so it's harder for us to like dive very deep into a topic as well. So when people hear about it, it's easier for people to assume that that is the end of the story, because that's what we are sharing. Like whatever we are sharing on this podcast, it's always going to be
a part of a story.
Yeah, it's just a part of the story, and then it's not going to be the full thing. Yeah, the whole point of this podcast is for us to learn from their mistakes, because I think that's what makes it interesting, is because we hear other people's stories and we know that, okay, yeah, this is not something that we want for ourselves. And then we learn from them, right? It's not about Hazel or it's not about James. It's about things that we can learn from them.
For me, I've always been a big fan of podcasts, right? You know, I listen to podcasts almost every day on my drive back home from home. And to be able to do this podcast, I feel like it's an honor. And of course, to be able to do it with you, such a good host, I think it's something that I'm very grateful to do it as well. And of course, alongside our producers, they are so talented. But to me, again, for selfish reasons, I feel like this podcast has helped me to storytell better.
Me too.
It has helped me to really organize my thoughts a little bit better. And of course, clarify things that I'm not sure about and talking to experts about certain topics. And for us, this podcast is, again, for us. It's a podcast that is like a message to future us. But at the same time, if you are looking to improve your relationship or have some insights on relationships in general, we're happy for you guys to be on board with us.
Yeah. Maybe not all the stories we tell or all the examples we share can appeal or apply to you, but I feel like, you know, some lessons that we share will be good to keep at the top of your mind so that, you know, we can together forge a better relationship with our partners moving forward.
Okay, this is to James and Hazel. It's also always good to have comments, because those are the conversations we are having with our audiences also. So it's a learning journey for everyone, including our audience. So it's great that people are always commenting and sharing their stories. And then for the people that doesn't like how Hazel reacts to situation, I think the thing that they can be glad of is that they are not dating. They are not the one dating Hazel.
Yeah, you're not dating me.
I would say there are many perks in dating Hazel. Like when I read a comment, sometimes I just don't understand what they are thinking, like the people are thinking, because the perks of dating you, there are so much, you know, and I'm just so grateful to have, you know, found you in my life, and you made me a better person.
You made me a better person, baby.
Yep.
Thank you.
So it's very close to your wedding. Is there anything else that you would like to do before that? Or is everything done?
Everything that I would like to do prior to my wedding as of now has nothing to do with the wedding. I hope that we can go for a couple massage. I hope I can go and do my hair, my nails. I mean, for the wedding and for personal reasons. I hope that we can clock a 3 km run together. Just spend time together.
For myself, it's more emotionally prepared for the wedding. I think physically, whatever we can do, we've already like done it. And right now, we are just going to leave it up to the professionals, our wedding planners, our producers. And it's time for us to take a step back to enjoy whatever we have planned so far. Whether it goes well or not, it doesn't matter anymore.
Yeah, that's it. We are going to be prepared for the chaos that will happen during the wedding. Like, guests who cannot find their seats, if our parents are upset with anything at all, or any last minute changes that our parents want, the grandparents want, we are going to be prepared for all of those and make sure that, we manage our emotions well enough that we can laugh about these situations on hindsight.
Yeah.
Before we end off this episode, one tip for the audiences from each of you, for anyone that is planning their wedding.
The tip would be always remember that the wedding is one day, but the marriage is forever. There is no point getting so upset with each other over the planning of the wedding that you lose yourselves in the process. So I believe that this can go hand in hand. Wedding planning and loving each other more every single day. So yeah, I feel like use the wedding planning to strengthen your relationship with your partner. Understand him or her a bit better.
Off the top of my head, I think one advice I would give is that to find a wedding planner.
Oh.
I've said this before, but I cannot thank my wedding planner pay enough because wedding planning isn't something that you do every day unless you're a wedding planner. And having a wedding planner helps you to really sort things out. They know exactly what you need and what you do not need, even before you discover them. So having one will really save you a lot of time and money even. The other one is...
And money? Why does it save you money?
Because you may make some mistake and then you have to spend more money to cover that mistake, The other one, more practically, is use apps. There are a lot of apps designed to help your wedding planning journey a little bit easier. For example, Withjoy, right? We're not sponsored by them, but Withjoy is an app that basically helps you sort out your guest list, helps you to RSVP your guest list, and when they RSVP, you can see on their app who has RSVP and who have not. Yeah, so things like that helps your wedding planning a little bit easier, takes off some stress off your plate and make you a little bit happier.
Yeah. On that note, also create a schedule for yourself. Maybe 3 months prior to a wedding, what should you have done? 2 months prior, what needs to be done? 1 month before, what needs to be done? That will help you, be a lot more clear-headed and also more prompt when it comes to finishing your tasks.
Yep. When it comes to finance, it's good to write down everything you have spent so far because everything could just snowball without you knowing. So have an Excel sheet of, okay, how much are you going to spend for this? Factor in small things like red packets that you want to give the vendors, for example. Or let's say hotel rooms you need to book the night before, the day after. All these little things can snowball the whole budget. One final thing when it comes to budgeting is the alcohol intake. Sometimes guests could, drink a lot of alcohol, and the amount of alcohol that you, at the end of the day,
have to pay
maybe a lot.
Yeah, so he heard this from one of our friends who shared the horror story of how a couple had to pay more than $10,000 for the alcohol that their guests consumed on the day itself. So limiting your alcohol is very important also.
So there are fixed amount of alcohol that the hotel has provided, but anything extra will be extra cost. So it's something for you to consider whether you want to put that in your budget or not.
He's the CFO. He does that very well. He creates an Excel sheet for our wedding expenses and our finances. So good job. All right, we hope you've benefited from this episode of
The Couples Classroom.
I'm Hazel.
I'm James.
We'll see you guys next time.
Bye.
We're getting married.
Dang, 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 dang.